actually read.
With passion, with tenacity, and gets results. Please welcome Councillor Tania Stevenson for her annual Absolute State of Our Nation address for 2024.
How are you doing, Pride? How's everybody? That'll be fine for me. My fellow rebels, warriors of the rainbow, we stand here in 2024 at a critical point in history. Nottingham, our city, steeped in rebellion and revolutionary spirit, has long been a beacon of hope for those who dare to defy injustice and those who demand equality. Let us draw some strength from the spirit of our ancestors, from the fearless Chartists who fought tooth and nail for the rights of the working class, to the Luddites who fought the injustices of the Industrial Revolution, all the way through to Brian Clough, a man who not only put this city on the football world map, but who also stood firm in his beliefs as a proud socialist. Cloughie understood that the fight for justice extended far beyond the football pitch, and it's a fight that we must continue today. I want to focus this year on the struggles of our trans youth, who are facing a relentless fight and violence simply for daring to exist as their authentic selves. They are forced to navigate a world that refuses to recognise their identities, and a world that is seeking harder and harder to erase them from existence. It is an outrage that cannot and will not be ignored or tolerated. So, let's have a chat about that CAS report. It is a vile assault on our youth, dripping with transphobia and ignorance, and rejects gender-affirming care. It condemns our youth to unnecessary suffering and denies their right to self-identify, and is a stark reminder of the discrimination faced by all trans people. It's full of fabricated science, hatred, and intolerance, which makes an already vulnerable community even more vulnerable. So, to all you young trans people out there, I'll say this for you. The road out there is difficult, but you are never alone on this path. Your community loves you, we support you, and we believe you're right to live authentically and without fear. Us oldies, you LGBT elders, we've seen this before. We remember Section 28. We remember those days when we had to hide in closets. Transphobia in 2024 is just really poorly recycled homophobia from 1984. And I tell you this for nothing, we're not having it, we've got your back. And to echo the words of Mayor Angelou, and yet despite your bitter, twisted lies, you may trod us in the very dirt, but we will still rise. The absence of trans people in positions of elected office is a damning indictment of our society's failure to recognise their worth. And as the only trans councillor in the entire Midlands, I will fight for our community's representation until my very last breath. Why? Because trans rights are human rights, and that is the end of that. You can't legislate for us without including us, and there will never be representation without our participation. So our media, with its sensationalist broadcasts and headlines, amplifies harmful stereotypes and spreads lies and misinformation about trans people. We are not mere entertainment. We are not to be exploited for profit whilst you just throw away our humanity. But perhaps the most damning of all was the complicity of our former Tory government, led by a pack of sadists who enjoyed watching our community being stripped of its humanity week by week. But the ballot box has spoken. We are now collectively rejoicing in your political demise, but when the Tories choose to collaborate with hate groups, you paid the price. You used us as nothing more than a pawns. We were your political football, and we were your punching bag. and how that spectacularly backfired. Tory party and Rishi Sunak planted those seeds of hate, and you will reap what you sow. 14 years. Goodbye, good riddance. But we must keep a close eye on our new Labour Health Minister, Wes Streeting, who wants to double down on the puberty blockers ban for our trans youth. But we must throw our weight behind fantastic parliamentary allies like Nadia, who's re-elected a Labour government to be better than the Tories on healthcare for trans people, not worse. People of Nottingham, it is time to stand up. It's time to be counted. It's time to work for a future where all people, regardless of your gender identity, can live free from fear and discrimination. But you must listen to the voices of young trans people, centre their experiences. They are the experts on their own lives, and their voices deserve to be heard. So we must stand together in solidarity, because the energy being put into splitting us apart is beyond our comprehension. There will never be an LGB without the T. End of! So tonight when you go home, remember that today is not just a celebration of who we are, but a declaration of your freedom and of your independence. And to use another Maya Angelou quote to finish, leave behind those nights of terror and fear into a daybreak that is wonderfully clear, but still we rise. Thank you, Nottingham, for your amazing support again this year. Fight to love, live your best life. You are absolutely amazing today. Happy Pride, Free Palestine!